Heated shenanigans, working stiffer than mannequins. Vader time like a mannequin. Mega powers, I'm savage and peep the babbling. Got him shook off the verbal acumen. I'm the main event, meaning nobody coming after him. The topics we be tackling, ankle locking and tapping them. I hate seafood, but I might throw the Boston crab on him. You know sometimes it gets heated. You know sometimes it gets heated.
What's going on, buddy? Welcome back into Heated Shenanigans Podcast live stream of Friday Night Smackdown. Brett will be joining us here momentarily. Got a little held up with some personal stuff, but Brett is on his way. It is so good to be back talking with you guys. It has been a very long time, and I have missed you all, and looking forward to having a good stream of Friday Night Smackdown tonight, guys. Again, been a couple weeks, but it is most certainly good to be back with everybody. So hopefully everybody out there is doing well. We're doing pretty good over here. Can't complain about anything. Not like it would do any good if we did. But with that said, kind of a curious, guys, in the comments, let us know what are your thoughts for SmackDown tonight. No Roman, as he's going to be out for a little bit longer of time. Selling the beat down by the new bloodline. Just getting caught up here on all the chats. Also, guys, remember, if you have not already, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. Sharing is caring. Make sure to share the stream with your friends, your family, your enemies. Just share it with somebody. But again, most importantly, make sure to subscribe if you have not already. A lot of great content on this channel. A lot more to come. Working on some more interviews. We haven't done an interview in a very long time. So be good to get that going here. Craig, what's going on, brother? It's been a while. How are you doing out there, Craig? You getting ready for WrestleCade? Couple months away. North Carolina. Man. Yeah, we're getting close to Bash at Berlin. So I definitely wanted to hey, what's going on, Jordan? Guys watching, this is Elite Endorsements is ran by a good friend of the podcast, Jordan Kramer, who is the representative of former NWA star Missa Kate. And also, as of just recently, he is the talent rep for Damon Kemp, former NXT talent. Make sure to reach out to Jordan for any booking inquiries for either of those talents. Great talents to have at any convention, signing, public speaking. They can do it all. And also for wrestling shows, as they are phenomenal wrestlers as well. So very, very happy to have these guys in the chat. Craig, I'm doing great. 98 days to WrestleCade. Getting excited as it comes closer. One of these days, man. One of these days, we're gonna make it out to a WrestleCade. It's definitely on the bucket list to hit. We've been to a lot of the big ones. Squared Circle Expo, WrestleCon. Have not yet had the opportunity to be at WrestleCade. So, but no, we were just talking Bash at Berlin. Something that has been gaining some steam here is the fact that there has been discussion that Cody Rhodes potentially is going to drop the belt to Kevin Owens at Bash in Berlin. I don't know. I honestly don't, because there's a lot more for Cody to do with this title run, and as much as Kevin Owens deserves to be the world champion again, I just don't know if right now is the correct time to pull anything like that. In the comments, guys, here, well, we've got 2 hours here to stream SmackDown. Let us know in the comments, do you guys feel that it is time to make the move off of Cody Rhodes onto somebody else, or is Cody still going to need to keep the strap for a little bit longer? But guys, pardon us real quick. We're going to step out for a brief break, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry about that. I had to step out and take care of some stuff, but we're back now. All right, let's see here. WrestleCade 98 days. Exactly. I know. Yeah, guys. So what match are you guys most looking forward to for Bash at Berlin? Drop that in the comments below. What match you're most looking forward to, and what match are you least looking forward to for Bash in Berlin? I'll be honest with upcoming Bash in Berlin. I'm looking forward to Randy and Gunther. I think that's going to be a barn burner. Big. There's a lot of chat again outside of just Cody potentially dropping. There's been a lot of people that have been saying Gunther is going to be a one and done as champ. That there's a lot of people out there wanting Randy Orton and John Cena to face at WrestleMania for the belt. Randy is only at 14-time world champion. So he definitely has a little bit of a ways to go if he is going to catch Cena before WrestleMania, so they could maybe fight for Cena could fight for being a 17-time world champion at WrestleMania. But Brett's about to jump in here. There's the champ. Welcome, buddy.
Hey, how's it going? Hello, everybody.
Going good. Going good. Rough day?
Oh, you know, went in at 8, got home at 8. Supposed to be off at 6. That's all. hopefully everybody else had a little more peaceful Friday. Not to mention, I watched a wreck happen right in front of me. So
we've got the Grayson Waller effect, which looks like a Bikini Bottom. Cody finally got more than just a run-in. He got an interview segment now on SmackDown.
well, hopefully this leads to at least a match with one of those two this evening. But
Craig, looking forward to the Terror Twins versus Judgment Day at Bash in Berlin. How much longer do you think we're going to get Waller and Theory together?
I guess they were going to be broken up.
Not a lot of faith in the tag team?
I mean, they're actually calling him A-Town Down Under now, which I think is, what we don't see. They get nicknames and they're still labeled as their two, ring names. But, yeah, I don't know. It seemed like they were going that direction, then shifted gears, and now they're going to keep them together. But I would think Theory is going to be our babyface in that. I see Waller being the one to turn.
I know. Looking at Waller, there's really nothing redeemable about him. Like, he's got a very, very punchable face. Great heel mannerisms. Theory, I don't know. They haven't really put the machine behind Austin Theory to be the babyface that he possibly could be.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what direction they decide to go, obviously, but I would be surprised if we get Theory being the one that makes the turn and it being not well received. I feel like people would love to see Theory punch Grayson Waller in the face. So
I like how this montage is of Kevin Owens turning on his friends. There's a lot of evidence to show here for that. Do you think it would be wise to turn Kevin Owens heel at Bash in Berlin?
I love KO in general. Heel KO, though, is like another level. Like, I mean, again, as we just saw, him turning on Chris Jericho broke my heart that night. Even though I knew it was coming. Had a feeling it was coming. But the fact that they're kind of talking about it,
Well, they're doing their best to discredit KO as he makes his way up to the ring now. I guess, like, you and I had talked about this. Like, the biggest problem that I had was they didn't give KO really the title run that he justly deserved. He felt like a background noise being the world champion the first time.
yeah, very true. And then you said it was Goldberg,
Mhm.
right? That they had beat him? Okay, yeah. And see, that's,
Beat, squash.
man. Barely got off the ground.
Do you think that the thing with Kevin Owens, like they're teasing the turn with Kevin, do you think this is a red herring and it's going to be an Orton that inevitably turns on Cody Rhodes?
Oh, I'm not ruling out that KO couldn't still turn. This might be just like a swerve on us where they're trying to make us not see it, and it's still going to be that.
I will say I like that they put a lot more thought and effort into the background for the Waller effect. They got little palm trees now. You can tell the budget's up, like giving them more than what Carlito got.
I do love the way that the ring is looking here, the canvas.
We're getting KO and Cody versus A-Town Down Under. It's a done deal. Tag team match. Teddy Long would love it. The guy in the front row looked like Elijah Burke.
I love how he says, thank you. Got permission. Now he's going to go do that.
Oh!
Ooh.
Hits Cody by mistake. That was a very expensive chair that he just threw.
That was my thought. I was like, that was a nice chair. Just going to toss it all around. It's okay.
We don't care about nice things here on Waller Effect. United States champ. You think since WWE's in this era of breaking records, you think LA Knight's going to become the longest reigning U.S. champion?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. He's defending the title at least tonight. It just said, you know,
Yeah.
We got to quickly pass up the defenses that Logan Paul didn't have.
He defended the title twice in what, 9 months?
I thought it was 8, but
8.
Close enough, and lost it on the 3rd.
So he's really on the. I mean, people complained about Roman and his frequency of defending the title. Roman looks like a workhorse champion in comparison to Logan Paul.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
I did want to, because we're going to be doing another episode coming up here. If we don't record it tonight, it'll be recorded sometime this weekend. We're going to be discussing SmackDown in comparison to Raw, like in terms of which is actually the better show currently. And there's a lot to discuss, a lot of storylines. But one thing that I did want to bring up with you, I know this is WWE and this is AEW related, but it is being reported Ricochet has signed to AEW.
Yeah, I saw more than a few articles that said that, so I think it's kind of going to be official at this point.
What are your thoughts? What are your takeaways from AEW getting Ricochet?
I mean, we're going to get definitely some good matchups. I mean, you know, he can go with anybody, but I was surprised that WWE didn't secure him back down. So,
I mean, what would you have done with him if you're WWE and you were signing Ricochet? What would you take him? What direction?
With AEW, or you said WWE?
I'm sorry. Had he stayed in WWE, what would have been Ricochet's future? What would have been his trajectory for this part of his career?
I mean, again, kind of like we were saying before with KO, like, yeah, he had, what was it, the IC title?
Mm-hmm.
He had the IC title, but that was kind of where we were still like the IC and US title weren't really being defended. So it was like, oh, Ricochet's defending this tonight. No, it was hard not to just kind of be like, oh, he's the IC champ still? Like, oh, he's probably losing. And then he did.
It's like,
so, you know, they really didn't give him any chance to do that. But I think there still was potential to go somewhere with it.
well, Ricochet goes to AEW, and I think it is an automatic who his first matchup is. It does not take a rocket scientist to realize they're going to go Ricochet Ospreay.
Oh, without a doubt. It seems like that's inevitable.
But the problem is AEW going to AEW, and they're going to give Ricochet this hero's welcome, this big monumental debut, and then 3 weeks from now, you forget he's even employed. Like he's filming episodes of Rampage.
I mean, I think he's going to get Ospreay and at least a few other guys that he's had a little bit of a history with, maybe more than 3 weeks. But yeah, I mean, it's to think about him going in with someone, man, I don't know. I kind of think you're right. It's gonna it'll have the big attraction and then possibly fizzle out. Wouldn't mind seeing him and Christian go.
Really?
I really wouldn't. Just the first thing that popped into mind that isn't someone I feel like I've seen him work with. And they probably haven't ever worked, but I think a Christian Ricochet match would be great.
It's been so long since I've really seen like any like Ricochet. Do you give him a mouthpiece? Because I mean he's got all the athleticism in the world, but we're talking like
I feel like all of our mouthpieces are heels.
Yes.
Question is he still own the name Ricochet?
I really think we're going to get Prince Puma. Craig did bring up a good point here. I think Ricochet debuts at an AEW All In under a mask in England.
Yeah, second that. Especially if the deal is done. That's what it seems like. All the articles said too was that it was going to be in England.
I mean, All In's what? Sunday?
It is Sunday.
It is Sunday.
And if it's potentially not Ricochet, then do we see Ospreay beat MJF and Adam Cole comes back now?
Oh, I'm so out of the loop with the thing with Cole. Like, but MJF's a heel now.
Yeah, I know. Confuses me as well.
I love Adam Cole.
Same.
He should have had a much different career than what he's had right now. I mean, I'll say it, he shouldn't have left WWE. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, it surely was not the fact they were not treating him well. They treated Adam Cole like a damn king.
Until the rumors possibly that were true that he was going to be subjected to being a manager, which I could see him not being okay with that.
Well, I can tell you he has one less reason to stick around in AEW. It's not like he's got to stay for Britt.
Now, I heard, not read, but I heard from a source, maybe I missed it, because, again, I keep up with AEW, but
not
maybe
religiously.
missed some things here and there. But I heard that there was like a backstage interview where the Undisputed Kingdom had basically said that Adam Cole was out of the group, which would kind of put him free and clear of being a heel anymore and involved with them. Doesn't make any sense to me, but not the one booking it.
Probably a lot better if you were. Not gonna lie.
I didn't say that.
I did. I'll double down on it. I've seen the booking. But what do we got going on here? LA Knight getting jumped. Damn, that was right on the mush with that super kick. I think there's a lot of potential for LA Knight to be a long reigning United States champion. I do hope that they give him that record breaking, because he's going to have to hold it. For LA Knight to have the record as longest reigning US, I think it's 313 days. Lex Luger, I believe, is, and that's the crazy thing. Luger has been blacklisted from WWE over these circumstances regarding the passing of Miss Elizabeth. You would think WWE would be itching to get rid of that record.
You said how many days, sir?
I thought it was 313.
Oof.
How often, Mike?
According to this, Lex held the title for 523 days. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Woo!
Your timeline was correct, though. It was 89 to 90.
Woo!
But I don't know about that. That might be longer than
that's 2 years.
Gunther's IC run.
No, Gunther was 666.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Parker, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow is going to be 1 year since Bray Wyatt passed, August 24th, 2023. I wish that they, if this would have lined up with Raw, this would have been nice to see what type of tribute they would have done for Bray. And also to that token, Terry Funk died the day before, the same day as Bray. Or was the day?
I don't believe it was the same day.
No, I don't think it's the same day.
They were relatively close, though.
But friendly reminder, guys, those in the chat, please, if you have not, hit that like button. If you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. We normally stream every Monday and Friday. Some things have come up, but we are back. We are live streaming. Brett Havoc, beautiful Brett Havoc. Look at that smile. All the ladies love Brett Havoc. And speaking of Brett, take a little time to plug our upcoming show. Let me get the correct graphic up here. Saturday, September 21st, Lafayette, Indiana, House of Heat Pro Wrestling presents Homecoming at the North End Community Center, headlined by our 6 to Survive Championship Series to determine the #1 contenders for the House of Heat World Championship. More details on that coming out. We just got a couple more things to hammer out with that, but also we will have Eric Dillinger taking on Josh Crane, in addition to appearances by Shane Mercer, Dale Patricks, Heather Monroe, former NWA Power Star Missa Kate, GPA Laney Luck, David Ali, and of course, Brett Havoc. It's coming up, brother.
It is.
It is. It is.
Hope to see a good turnout, guys.
I think so. Ticket sales are trending that way. Ticket information is also available on Eventbrite. You can get tickets on there, or you can check out Heated Shenanigans Podcast Facebook page or House of Heat Facebook page for ticket information. Front row $20. Rest of the tickets are $15. More than fair price for what you're going to get, guys. Parker asks, do you like Scott Hall? I do. One of the all-time greats. You got to meet him.
Get to meet him. Signed two pictures and got a picture with myself and my boy. So, and that was just for working the show. Talked to us for quite a bit too, because at that point, everyone had already been through. Great guy.
When you met Scott Hall, like what was it like? Like, because everybody has that. He has that aura about him, just that cool, that machismo. What was it like meeting Scott?
Definitely walked up with butterflies. But as soon as he started the conversation, it just all went away. Like, he was the easiest person to talk to, super nice, super chill. He's the one who was like, you guys want to get a picture? Yeah, I want to get a picture with you, sir. And then he was just like, he told my boy, so go ahead and pick out, 2 of your favorites there. He's like, assign them and give them to you, like, kind of thing. And that's what I'm saying. I was just like, man. So.
Did he hit you with the hey yo?
Honestly, that part I don't remember. All I know is that he was like, hey, we're going to throw up the too sweet. So that was cool.
See, it's funny because like you met Scott Hall. I've met Kevin Nash a couple of times. Have you met Kevin?
I haven't met Kevin yet. No.
Coolest mofo. Like, again, there's a lot of mixed stories about Kevin out there. And look, we all have bad days. And Kevin Nash is one of the greatest people you could ever ask to meet. And speaking of Kevin Nash, not that he's in the chat, but Dan Cowett is with us. Dan, how's it going, brother? It is good to have you in the chat, guys. It is good to be back. Remember, hit that like button if you have not already. Did Scott Hall? Yes. Yes. In self-defense. Yes. Not maliciously. Craig, I met Scott Hall before. He was not very talkative. What year? I'm assuming this was at a WrestleCade, correct? It's always good to have Dan in the chat. Yeah, Santos has no chance of beating LA Knight, but this is a nice formality.
I like Santos' work. I really do.
As do I don't know what you're going to do with him after. I guess, do you think, and then guys in the comments, do you think WWE needs a secondary mid-card title for the men's?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt with how many people are on the roster, but then again,
Well, I guess a third and a fourth because they have the US and the IC title.
I think finding the right name for it is where the struggle would be.
Brett, ask Scott about his Too Sweet with X-Pac.
How about your Too Sweet with X-Pac?
Fuck you, Dan. So we're in line to meet X-Pac at WrestleCon. So we get up there, and I want to say, like, again, a lot of people have talked a lot of crap about Sean Waltman. Could not be further from the truth. This dude would have given you the shirt off of his back. Tremendously kind. So he brings us around the table, and he's like, all right, guys, we're taking a bunch of pictures. You don't normally get that luxury when you're up there. Like, we did a arms around the shoulders photo. We did the suck it photo. Then we get to the Too Sweet one. And this guy, I'll show you the picture when we go to break. The guy taking the photo catches at the same time, like I'm judging him on his Too Sweet. Like I look like I'm rolling my eyes. I'm doing Too Sweet. It was a funny picture. I still have it on my phone. Dan had noticed it because I had sent all those photos to. No, they were taken off of Dan's phone. But you know what? X-Pac, Sean Waltman, tremendous human being. Really hope our paths cross again. Parker, you've been diving into all the dark stuff in professional wrestling, haven't you? What happened to Jimmy Snuka's wife? Well, she is no longer with us. I'm not going to get into the details of what happened, but Google is your friend. Google will tell you specifically what happened to Jimmy's life.
If I'm not mistaken, there might be a Dark Side of the Ring episode on it too.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure there was.
There is. That also got Jimmy, I believe, blacklisted, blackballed from WWE. And I don't know. Is Snuka recognized as a Hall of Famer still?
That's a good question.
I know they booted Hulk out when that thing happened. I don't know if Jimmy got the same treatment.
I met Snuka and got a picture with him.
Oh, that was in Lafayette.
It was in Lafayette. It was also probably about 12 years ago now, but still.
You weren't working yet, were you?
You know, to be honest with you, I'm trying to think back to the picture, and I was definitely in street clothes. So either A, I had wrestled and gotten dressed, or I wasn't even working yet. And there's a possibility it was longer than what I'm even thinking. So
12.
Maybe 2008, 2007, something like that.
It was for CWF, so it would have had to have been 06, 07. LA Knight picks up the victory. The momentum continues for the defending United States champion, something we were not privy to under the prior reign. Do you like Bam Bam Bigelow? I love Bam Bam. Unfortunately, never got to meet Bam Bam. But I think he's one of the greatest big men that has ever been in the business.
Certainly. I met his brother.
You did?
He says he was his brother. Yeah.
You know, Dre goes around telling people he's Devon Dudley's brother.
Oh, geez. I could see that. I really could.
You know, he signed autographs as Drayvon Dudley. I swear to God, I've watched it happen.
Honest truth.
Yeah.
We had been pushing it as a joke, but I went on the Jericho Cruise Part 2. And after like the third person was like calling me Matt Jackson, the guys were like, next person, if there is, we got to get him. Sure enough, it was late, but still, pretty intoxicated guy. He's like, yo, you're Matt? And I was about to say no, and I get nudged, and I go, yeah. He's like, get your autograph?
Did you charge him?
No, but I found it hilarious. I just put some scribbles down because I was like, yeah, I can't even make this up. But it got me. It was really funny because at the time Matt was sporting the chops, and I had just said I'm going to leave these until I see if he has them or not. Yep, he still did. Whole time. Bumped into him in the casino too.
Did you get like a twinsy pick?
No, wish we would have. They were kind of in passing, and the guys were like, hey, it's your brother, it's your brother. You're like, yo, guys. Yeah. Kind of one of those had to be there, but that's funny, though.
Craig, it was in 2018. I'm at Scott Hall at Two Men Power Trip of Wrestling Convention in Richmond, Virginia. I have never heard of that convention before. We had a 6-woman tag. Dan, you already know, brother. Dan already knows. All right, guys. WWE is getting ready to go to commercial here. We're going to step out for a little bit till they come back. In the meantime, guys, we're going to play a couple of clips from prior guests. So enjoy, and we'll be right back.
One of those bookings that just kind of happened, and then we all, put our creative minds together and, kind of just added on different things from the Worm to the, to the Michael Jackson to the, to the dancing part of Too Cool. And we kind of made it our own when we came out for the first time together and then, tried something different at the end where, usually you see a wrestler, they win, they raise their hand, the referee, boom, the music hits, they're out. And so we just said, man, why don't we try something different? How about they raise their hand? They go to raise their hand, but we turn that whole place into a nightclub. Have the lights dimmed down from fireworks go, and then we just bust a move. Let's just, try something together. Well, we don't dance. Well, we can just try it and see if it works. And by the time we tried it, you already know, Too Cool and Rikishi's born then. One of those bookings that just kind of happened, and then we all, put our creative minds together and, kind of just added on different things from the Worm to the, to the Michael Jackson to the, to the dancing part of Too Cool. And we kind of made it our own when we came out for the first time together and then, tried something different at the end where, usually you see a wrestler, they win, they raise their hand, the referee, boom, the music hits, they're out. And so we just said, man, why don't we try something different? How about they raise their hand? They go to raise their hand, but we turn that whole place into a nightclub. Have the lights dimmed down from fireworks go, and then we just bust a move. Let's just, try something together. Well, we don't dance. Well, we can just try it and see if it works. And by the time we tried it, you already know.
So during the pandemic, that's when I started doing it, when TikTok became really popular with the dances. And my mom lived with me for a little while in my townhouse. And, she was like obviously unemployed at the time because of COVID. So I would like throw my mom in a lot of these dances. So my mom just recently actually said, she was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did these dances with you. She's like, I look terrible. How'd you make me do this? So I actually laughed because I would force her to do them with me. So I'd say those dances that I used to do, the ones that were really trendy, were a lot of fun. I did them I did some multiple times, which I don't know. And some of them when I just watch, I'm just like, ooh, they're a little cringe, but I think it's funny. And I think people could relate to that as well. Cause they may look at me and think that I'm
WWE was my developmental. And I think a lot of people thought that was a dig at WWE or an insult towards them, but it wasn't, because I believe that WWE set me up for this run right now. It taught me all the things that I need to know to be the number one guy on the indies. So if anybody says oh, he's just an ex-WWE guy, I'm fucking proud of that. I was there for over a decade, did a lot of fucking cool things. I believe I changed the business with Z True Long Island story. I maybe when I die, I'll finally get credit for it. But I'm not insulted by that ex-WWE guy. And you never know. Maybe one day I will end my career there. I always thought I would be a WWE lifer, but I needed to get released. I needed to go away. It needed to happen, and it did. And now look, 2022, independent wrestling.
And we're back. They're still finishing up their college football promotion, which Pat McAfee's gone for the next, until January.
A little while.
Oh, well, he'll be back for the Netflix thing. When Raw goes to Netflix. He'll be back for that. We got Santos Escobar whining and crying. At this point, I'm starting to believe Baron Corbin does not age.
Hey, I'd take that fountain of youth.
Look at him. Like, the dude looks, honestly, he might look better than when he got into WWE.
Still, his lone wolf gimmick was.
Is that where it was at, Lone Wolf?
Man, I really think it was. Like, I do. And then they just kept changing him. And I think that's where we kind of went wrong there.
Wrong.
We, it started to lose steam with him.
I liked the broke Baron Corbin. Oh, fuck. Jade Cargill. Yay.
Had a ton of steam going in, and they
That's all it was, bro. It was steam. It wasn't momentum. It was steam.
flatlined her push there just a little bit.
The match, was it Backlash where she dropped the belt? They dropped the belts? In France, yeah, it was the Backlash where they dropped the tag titles.
Well, again, one that I feel like maybe isn't ever defended, and when it does get defended, we're probably going to see new champs.
That is the most accurate description of those titles. I know WWE is in this mode of we're stalling until we can get to WrestleMania, and we're going to get Bianca versus Jade. But then after that, like, what the hell do you do with Jade?
She would, I think, be getting that title.
Oh, God, no. No, please. She's not good in the ring, like, period. Like, corpses have better mobility than Jade Cargill.
Well, I do feel like when she was still over at AEW that she was doing a lot of squashes on TV, but I didn't exactly get to see her work her bigger matches, so I can't judge on that.
If you look at the SmackDown roster, if you had to rank the top 5 women on SmackDown, presuming take Charlotte out of the equation, no Charlotte, we're looking at the SmackDown women's division top 5. Who do you got?
Do I have to answer that?
It's an opinion based, like.
Well, I'm trying to think of who all is on SmackDown. I'm still going to put Jade in there.
Are you really? Is it because you don't know anybody else?
I'm not going to put Bianca in there.
I'm talking Bianca. I'm talking like you have Bailey. You have Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, now you're bringing it back to me. But yeah, I love Bailey. Bailey definitely is got to be in there. Sorry for forgetting Bailey. I actually do really like watching Blair Davenport. Followed her on NXT UK and on NXT. But minus the people in the ring, man.
I would put Nia in the top.
Yeah, but she hurts people.
Jade hurts my eyes to watch. My vision, brother. I only get one vision. I already got glasses. I'm going to need a Braille laptop if I have to keep watching Jade Cargill matches.
Well, see, I can't even remember who is who on this now that they've changed it, but Kaylee Ray. Big fan of hers. Not so much the name change.
What was she in NXT? Okay, so am I having like a Nelson Mandela moment? Like, she was a part of that women's War Games team, right?
I do believe so.
She was on the heel team. Because she was the women's UK champion, right? Like, is this right?
That sounds about right.
I did not know she's been in WWE that long.
Yeah, she went from the UK and then shortly over to NXT, and I want to say she was going for the women's title, and then after she lost it, she formed this tag team.
I mean,
and changed her name.
So, I mean, you have Nia, Bailey, Tiffany Stratton. God, now you've got me spacing on the women.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, Naomi's on there. I need to look at that roster. Dan, how far has Bianca fallen? Been out of the title picture for months. I'm okay with it. Keep it fresh. Charlotte is coming back soon. We'll have Charlotte.
See, and her being gone, I was spacing her. Charlotte's really good. I can't deny that. Charlotte has definitely got to be in top 5. But I also don't need to see Charlotte only as the champ or she's not wrestling. Because that's what it seems like. She wins it, and then when she loses it, suddenly she's gone again.
Do you feel, in your opinion, is Charlotte the greatest women's wrestler we've ever seen? Completely opinion based. There's no right or wrong answer.
That's tough because she can go. She can go.
I struggle to think of anybody that is immediately better in the ring than Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, she can go off the top. She's got her submissions. Like she's got a great moveset. Like all of the above there. Like you can walk it, can talk it. Definitely was doing everything she can to not be compared with her father.
Boy, how that changed. Dan, Trish and Charlotte, 1A and 1B. Damn, Trish was really good in the ring. What do you say? Where would Trish fall? Like, would you put her above or below Charlotte?
Well, not that it is anything that was a false Trish, if you will, but I've seen Charlotte get more of an opportunity to work, if that makes sense.
Better eras, perhaps?
Sure, yeah. I mean, because the things that a lot of them were doing when it wasn't like for the women's title or, a serious one-on-one match. Yeah, I mean, I think back to some of her storylines, and I mean, obviously her early work was not very well, but nobody's was. So, but Trish, I mean, that was my favorite growing up. So, I mean,
she is super short too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She had on like those 6-inch, 7-inch heels at WrestleCon.
It was still short.
Still shorter than Lita. Is Bam Bam Bigelow in the WWE Hall of Fame or not? Bam Bam, I believe, is in the Hall of Fame. We play this fun game every time we're on the podcast of who's in, who's out. For the longest time, I didn't think Rick Rude was in. Do you like Virginia Tech football and Purdue football too? I'll be honest with you. What I'm wearing, I really like this jacket. It's comfortable. I don't really feel a certain way about Purdue. I'm an Ohio State guy. Love them. Brett, what do you? Are you a college guy?
Yeah, I mean, I've followed college football for quite some time.
Who's your?
Oh, I was always down to see Notre Dame put the Smackdown on Purdue. I feel like Purdue is an acquired taste, whether you live in town or you went to school there. Definitely, if they went to school there, they obviously did. My ex was obviously went to Purdue, so was a Purdue fan. She never understood why I didn't like Purdue. I just don't. And now for other reasons, don't. So,
But you're a Notre Dame guy.
I have been a Notre Dame guy for as long as I can remember. Really can. Through the good and through the bad. But as time has went on, I mean, I have a few college teams because there's a lot more than the NFL even. So I have a few that I watch. I've got some family in Oregon, so over time I feel like I adopted the Oregon Ducks. I had family and friends that went to IU, so naturally kind of started liking IU as well. So I sports from Notre Dame and IU. That's about it. I don't have any Oregon stuff, anything like that. But
IU has been good to you over the years.
yeah. Bloomington and IU have been very good. Very, very nice people.
Good.
Students are a lot more, how do I want to say, proper and know how to talk to people. Whereas I feel like the Purdue crowd's a little more opinionated, maybe a little stuck up. But that's all. Yeah, I mean, wow, that was a power bomb from hell.
That's a good spot. See, this is what we need to. This is more out of Jade that we need to see.
Oh, and I can't forget. I'm sorry. Yes, it was. She just tore them up. Boise State. That's the one that gets people. Only because I love the fact that their field is blue.
Okay.
That gets
fair.
I love watching a Boise State game because of that.
They're cleaning house on the Unholy Union. And Blair Davenport.
Oh,
dear God.
the teeth.
This match has been a little rough ski. Do you like Jacob Fatu, WWE guy? Yes. Should probably be the leader of the bloodline.
Oh, this isn't going to end well.
Oh, I thought we were going to get the roll up. Sure. You think Blair's going to pin Naomi?
I think we're going to get Naomi pinning Blair at this point. I was waiting to see the old V trigger. That's it.
Yeah, normally when you sit like that, it's game over. Okay, that's something I wanted to ask you. So in a match, do you think there's a certain pin that when you see it, it's always the end? Like it's never kicked out?
You mean like just based on where somebody's at?
maybe it doesn't matter. Like you hit a big move and you see like there's like a certain pin a wrestler does, like not a traditional lateral press.
Sure.
But when they hit that pose for that pin, it's game over. Like there's nobody's kicking out.
I do see where you're at with that. I have been guilty of that a few times.
Really?
Yeah. Try not to, but I realize more times than not, it seems if I am about to secure, then I will hook a leg and normally use one of my other legs to wrap their other as I go to pin them. So I also think that it doesn't hurt when it's like very definitive that it's pretty over to, get a different cover in that essence. Like even the, maybe sitting on their chest with like the leg up, probably a poor description of that, but.
Well, no, it's like, that's kind of like the ultimate like victory pose. Cause you see there's a lot of the talent does that. Like when they hook that one leg and they lean back and
Sure.
It's game over. I thought it was interesting watching some of these like very like I guess you would say confident pins.
Yeah.
And that being the end of the match, normally 9.9 times out of 10. Just a little nugget of maybe it makes a little bit of psychology, if you will.
Sure.
Nash foot on the chest pin, game over.
Yeah, it's so disrespectful. Not from him. I mean, he just dropped you from the top of a building, basically.
I mean, Jericho did it too, but he'd do like the whole pose on top.
Right. I know anybody puts their foot on my chest, I definitely swat that off pretty hard. As it's disrespectful, but I have also done the foot on the chest pin too.
Have you done the finger?
Ooh.
I mean, even more disrespectful, the pinky.
No, I don't think I can say I've done that.
I think it would be difficult to get somebody to agree to that. Like you're calling the match, you're like, when we get to the pin, I'm just going to pin you with my pinky.
Hey, I got a story for you if you want to hear.
Yeah, fire away.
Got me.
What do you got?
Well, I perhaps a time or two decided to teabag a couple people. Not directly. I'm not that disrespectful, but I mean, like, the fruits were hanging. And yeah.
Is that the name of the pin?
No. I just was trying to like make it clear that I'm not that rude that I put it directly in their face, but it was definitely like hovering. And sure enough, one match, I had the cover. I don't even know if my hands were on his chest or if I had one of his legs, but next thing you know, the other leg came up and it hit me square in the forehead, and I did not see it coming at all. I was like, oh, smoked me with it. And all I'm getting is like how disrespectful it was. I was like, yeah, I deserve that.
Were they telling you while you were doing that? Or was the knee like, hey, dude?
Well, it was one of the boys that I helped train, so I good for him on throwing a good face kick, if you will. Smoked me with it though. He was like, "Really?" Yeah.
Brett, I can't imagine why he would have kneed you.
Wasn't a knee. God, the knee would have been worse.
You'd have been out.
He literally threw his. I'm up by his head, and he threw his foot all the way up and hit me right in the forehead, directly in the forehead. The footage is out there somewhere because I remember seeing it, and you just see me grab my face, and I go down. It's like, oh my god, yeah.
Oh, they're showing Bret Hart now from their time in Germany. You know what would have been awesome? So when they announced Bret Hart for the WWE Hall of Fame, if they would have had Goldberg induct him. Oh, just saying.
I can't laugh at that.
Okay. If you're Bret, which would have been worse?
I am Bret. I was partially named after that man.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Your father named you after Bret Hart.
My parents were wrestling fans, and they were like, really like the name Bret. It's different the way it's spelled. And side note, my mom was huge into Poison, lead singer, Bret Michaels. So it was like they both just kind of were like, yeah, really like this. But man, I kind of lost track of it because I was still at a pretty young age when he left to go to WCW. And when the news was finally told to me, years, might I add, after the fact, because I thought he was still competing at WCW, it was like, no, got kicked in the head and can't wrestle anymore because of Goldberg. And I was like, oh.
Is that when the Goldberg hate started for Bret?
I was like, I have a little beaf with Goldberg.
Got some heat with Bill.
I like Goldberg. I really do. I mean, but I was just like, man. And then hearing the story back about how Bret was like, yeah, I tried to tell him, like, please be careful out there. And that happened.
In his book, he states right before he went to the ring, the sentence he said was, please don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Now, Goldberg did cost us probably one of the greatest careers of all time. And so did the booking of WCW. They're not getting
I was going to say, from what I have seen, it seems like that the booking was not going so well either there.
Oh, all members of Bloodline tonight.
Hey, and he lost his eye patch.
Well, hopefully learn how to work. I understand they need these guys for storyline purposes, but I feel they're kind of learning on the fly. Like, not all the Bloodline is created equal in terms of in-ring talent. Now, there's a little bit of a learning curve. I'm not saying they're not good workers. I'm just saying, like, do you feel maybe they were rushed for the narrative?
I mean, boys have been working for years. And I kind of see now that you pointed it out a little bit, but, it's still, I think, will be good when this War Games match happens.
Because we're heading there.
Could see that. Could just see the original Bloodline absolutely destroy these guys. And that will take away your concern of how well they might be getting rushed in here. But
I don't know. Looking at where this Bloodline's at right now, there was a report saying that when they get to the conclusion, this will be unlike anything we've seen. That might just be hyperbole. I don't know at the end of this, when they get done, does Solo come out of this an absolute bona fide megastar? Or is Jacob Fatu going to be the beneficiary of all of this?
That's a good question, because in my opinion, somewhere down the road, definitely down the road, they've got to have Solo and the Usos do something, like a six-man where they are all good again, because even I had forgot for a split second that I was like, he is their brother.
They don't look alike at all. Like, Rikishi's genes are so strong with Solo. Like, Jay and Jimmy look adopted. Like, you look at Solo, like, in the face, you're like, damn, he's got, like, Rikishi's facial features and, like, the ramen noodle hair. Like, that's indicative of Rikishi. But, God, those fans want Roman so bad. Okay. So, side rant. You know how I feel about Cody. You know how I feel about this title run. Cody is presumably beating Kevin Owens. I don't think that's breaking news to anybody. If you go to Roman and if you go to Solo and Cody again, and Cody retains again through interference, at this point, just take the damn belt off Cody. Like, if the babyface, the face of the WWE, cannot get a clean win,
I was going to say, as you were talking about with Jacob and these other guys, I think Cody or Roman's got to be the one to beat Jacob Fatu. He's going to put a beating on whoever. I mean, this guy's a freaking nature. I love it. I absolutely love it.
It reminds me of Evolution. When Evolution was around, like, you looked at Evolution and you knew Randy ended up being arguably the greatest between him and Batista. But Batista was the guy that you looked at in Evolution like, he's going to be a star. That's the main event. That is a future Hall of Famer. I get that when I look at Jacob Fatu. Like that, a Batista level push, I think is very well on the table for Jacob.
Could see that. Oh,
God, those fans.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was hearing correctly.
No, you heard correct. That was the problem. What the hell is this?
Well, they were formerly the Pride with
Bobby.
Not now.
Where's Montez? The one with talent.
That is him.
Oh, he was hiding on the side of the screen. And Montez isn't. I just saw his partner. I was like, where the hell's Montez at? They're going to feed the Street Profits to the damn bloodline again. I get it, there's got to be casualties in this, but my God.
No, we just took the belt from Jacob Fatu and put it with Tongaloa. So now if they lose, woo, probably should have left it with Jacob Fatu.
Dan, what are you saying? I hope they destroy the Street Profits, Dan. Why? How? The hate for the Street Profits. What about you? Where are you anti-Street Profits or?
No, I love it. I got their jam on my gym playlist, man. Our own Shane Mercer worked a tag match in NXT against them.
He did?
He did. He most certainly did. And when I was at my last NXT event in Indianapolis, they had made an announcement saying that something about Montez Ford was maybe hurt. Something about they announced that he wasn't going to be there, but they said Angelo Dawkins came out and he had challenged Aleister Black to a match. And in my first thought, I was like, ooh, I like Montez more than Angelo Dawkins. Hear me out. Just if I were to pick one or the other. But after watching that match at that NXT event, whew, those two went at it for a good minute. It was a really good match. And yeah, Aleister Black still won. But man, I had a new level of respect for Angelo Dawkins after that, especially when that man came off the ropes and just ate the black mass. Like, I would have thought his jaw was in the front row.
Been there. I know what that's like. Of course, the guy he was in the ring with was safe, so there's a difference.
Yeah.
Street Profits aren't ready for the smoke.
Ain't ready for Jacob Fatu.
WWE ain't ready for Jacob Fatu. Okay. The Rumble's coming up. Are any of the Bloodline going to be in the Royal Rumble? And if so, whom has the better outing? I'm eliminating the Tongas right now. I have very low expectations.
So we're putting Solo and Jacob in there.
If Solo and Jacob are in the Royal Rumble.
I mean, you've been talking about the elimination record getting broken. Like, that man has got to be one of the front runners to eliminate a bunch of people already.
I think you got 3 contenders for who breaks the elimination record. Braun Breaker, Damian Priest, Jacob Fatu. James, Scott, just something happened over here. What happened? And hopefully it's good. Jared, yo, welcome in the chat, brother. Remember, guys, those popping in here, there's quite a few of you. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and drop some comments down below. Our lethal lottery machine just turned on by itself. Well, you should maybe check the plugin. Did it spit out a name by chance? Hoping. Yeah. I think you could get 2 years out of LA Knight. I think you get 2 years of championship run out of the LA Knight. Is this an open challenge?
I was about to say. It's the U.S. Open Challenge. He ain't called the Open Challenge, at least. But he said whoever wants to show up. So, who are we going to see face LA Knight?
Alex Wright. They're in Germany.
Doth
Wonder Kid.
However.
He's old, I know.
No. That's not what I was going to lead to. Goodness.
What?
Maybe hate to burst the bubble of you saying that you could see a long run, and I could too out of LA Knight. But if the Bloodline retains here, you just opened that up. Why did we take that title from Jacob and tell him to give it to Tonga Loa?
Why do you make sense? Damn it!
And if Jacob Fatu answers that challenge,
it's
he's
over.
Most certainly winning the U.S. title. That would be a very short title run.
Are they doing the Evolution thing then? Are they going to give Solo the title?
I don't know.
James, let's spit something out. I'll give an update. We're going to get the 6th entrant by the end of SmackDown. That would be the 6th and final entrant to the tournament, championship series, however you want to view it as.
That would require Cody and Solo pretty much again, and I don't know that we're going to see that.
Okay. I feel this needs to be discussed. If Cody gets past KO, presumably there's no interference. Presumably. But then he goes on to lose to Solo. Does Cody go down as the most disappointing champion in recent memory?
Can't say about Cody. Love me some Cody.
I didn't say I hate him. I'm just looking at this from an objective standpoint. Like,
I got goosebumps and about shed a tear when he came back at Mania. And I had a feeling it was him. I think we all kind of knew it was him.
we would have been very disappointed had it not been Cody.
You know, if by chance Punk would have came through there to fight Seth, we could have had that match a few years prior. So
every time I see Jacob Fatu with the praying hands, I believe he is asking the Samoan gods to bring him a victim. Dang, I like that. I like that. Gold star for Dan. Cody loses to Solo. Most disappointing champion in recent memory. He's been the only other champion in 4 years.
yeah, man. So like the last 10 years.
Okay, fine. The last 10 years. Oh, God, that got me. I forgot Roman held it for almost half a decade.
Yeah, KO brought that up a couple weeks back. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna give Roman a shot?" He's like the guy who held our hostage title for over 3 years.
That's why when I say the good old days, I'm referring to Roman as champion. Gold star, yay. James gets a gold star for popping us like that. That was a damn good comment. But I don't know, like,
I hated to make that make sense for you on the Jacob Fatu thing, too. I'm sorry. I'm confused as well. I'm confused just as well because they had just said that Solo made it to where any of those three could defend the titles.
So
they said
it
a few weeks ago that it's whoever Solo chooses. But that right there of him taking it from him makes me think differently.
James Altrez gets 2 gold stars. You bring up a sound point. You put the free bird rule in effect. You take Jacob out of being a mandatory tag champion. If he answers LA Knight at Berlin, it's over. You know, we got the moment. I got to be there when he won. It was electric. And it'll be sad when he gets mowed down by Jacob Fatu.
There's plenty of options I feel like that could show up to be a good match for him, but oof.
Is there anybody from NXT that could get brought up for an open challenge with LA Knight?
I don't know, because we're still struggling with some of the last ones. Not saying by choice or their own undoing. I think it's just not having anything for them. I don't know if we got a Carmelo versus LA Knight. I would be okay with that.
Ooh. I wouldn't mind having Carmelo. Hey, oh my God. Dan, what if it's Joe Hendry? It's Joe fucking Hendry.
I don't think they're giving TNA that much look yet.
Well, Jordan Grace apparently very closely is going to be a WWE talent. And, okay, this drives me nuts because there were already people online him-hawing about, the first poached talent from WWE TNA. Look, I say this as respectfully as possible. WWE could steal all the TNA people, and they still would have done more for TNA than what AEW did when they worked together. Like, that was not a partnership. That was abuse. That's what that was. That was one-sided. TNA got nothing out of that deal.
Nope. All I remember from that is just Kenny coming in, winning the title, and then being like, all right, I don't need this.
Yeah, and then Tony Schiavone buried TNA in a promo with Tony Khan.
So
look at the attendance records. TNA is doing better than AEW. Brett, this is Joe Hendry. James, I have the word. The Lethal Lottery Machine has given me the word for our final entry to Six to Survive. I don't understand it. Excellent, James. Excellent. Is it in another language by chance? WWE silently owns TNA already, and by Labor Day, WWE will own NW. This man said by Labor Day. All it says is closet. I'm going to decipher this, and I'll report back to you when I do. You don't understand the word closet. It's where we keep our clothes. In some cases, skeletons. I'm still fixated on Jacob Fatu becoming the United States champion.
Start putting that in your head.
That's the problem. That's good booking. Like, I mean, if you're an LA Knight fan, it's not a good booking decision.
Now, I mean, maybe I just misheard exactly where Solo was going with it. Maybe, again, it is the free bird, and he just was telling Jacob, like, hey, you're hurt, so give the belt to him so they can defend it. But I don't know if that man's still in a walking boot.
Oh, bro, that's kayfabe. That man ain't hurt. They're trying to keep him away from Roman.
Well, he was in a walking boot last week, and he destroyed Roman. He super kicked him with that walking boot.
Did you see the sell job Roman had on that face?
Yeah, man, it was pearly whites.
Like big announcement next weekend by William Patrick Corgan. Oh, so you're being legitimate. You think WWE bought NWA?
I don't know. I've heard some stories, so not about that, but I've heard some stories about one Smashing Pumpkins lead singer. So
What'd you hear? This is the spot to tell it.
Ooh. I don't want to lay out names, but I'm just going to say that somebody did some work for him years back and did not have much nice to say.
There's a couple people I've heard.
Still in the walking boot. He is still in the walking boot.
I like how Montez did not take the pin. I'm okay with it. The loss sucks, but I swear that Solo's hair looks like fucking ramen noodles.
Maybe if he just, went the style I did with the blonde and just on top. But it going down the back is...
Oh, baby faces are being beat up. Are they going to put up the Cody Rhodes bat signal?
No, he's got a match already. And he don't want none. Maybe AJ Styles does, though.
Oh, DIY. Let's feed them to them next. Great, guys. I'm thinking maybe since NWA has been signing people to guarantee contracts, so WWE will honor them. This is a good point. Worked for Billy at Residence once. Corgan said, and I quote, "Hey, I love your voice. Good job without a working sound system." So there's that. You a Corgan fan now? I've worked with a lot of Corgan's people, but I've never actually met Billy Corgan. Oh, they're destroying DIY. This is crazy to think he's doing all this with a walking boot. Oh, down goes Johnny. Down goes Tommaso. You'll see Roman Reigns in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're right. That's nice. It's about shutting things all around. I'd love to say for good, but to be honest, they're pretty tough. They'll probably do that next week and at least look a little bit better. True. But yeah, what I was saying earlier, that video, all those guys except for Kofi, they kind of deserve that. You know, I'm not that guy. Do you believe them? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Just don't want you to think I asked Sky Patch to set you up or anything like that. No, can't make that. All I can do is take it for and be ready for what happens next.
Roman's scheduled appearance Friday the 13th. Oh, okay. All right. Well, SmackDown is on commercial. We're going to go to break real quick, and we'll see you guys when we get back.
One of those bookings that just kind of happened, and then we all put our creative minds together and kind of just added on different things, from the worm to the to the Michael Jackson to the to the dancing part of Too Cool, and we kind of made it our own when we came out for the first time together, and then tried something different at the end, where usually you see a wrestler, they win, they raise their hand, the referee, boom, the music hits, they're out. And so we just, man, why don't we try something different? How about they raise their hand? They go to raise their hand, but we turn that whole place into a nightclub. Have the lights dimmed down, from fireworks go, and then we just bust a move. Let's just, try something together. Well, we don't dance. Well, we can just try it and see if it works. And by the time we tried it, you already know, Too Cool with Rikishi's born then. One of those bookings that just kind of happened, and then we all put our creative minds together and kind of just added on different things, from the worm to the to the Michael Jackson to the to the dancing part of Too Cool, and we kind of made it our own when we came out for the first time together, and then tried something different at the end, where usually you see a wrestler, they win, they raise their hand, the referee, boom, the music hits, they're out. And so we just, man, why don't we try something different? How about they raise their hand? They go to raise our hand, but we turn that whole place into a nightclub. Have the lights dimmed down from fireworks go, and then we just bust a move. Let's just try something together. Well, we don't dance. Well, we can just try it and see if it works. And by the time we tried it, you already know. Too cool. Rikishi's born then.
All right, we are back. Recapping the recent feeding of the bloodline. So this Bash in Berlin's this weekend, right? Or next?
We said All In is this weekend. Next weekend is the Bash.
I would say it wouldn't surprise me if they ran it head to head.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Bash was this weekend, but upon looking, got a whole nother week to build.
So do you do, I don't want to say the disagreeing partners thing, but I have a feeling A-Town Down Under is not winning.
No, they're not winning this tag match for sure.
Can you ask her where Bobby Lashley's at? Dear God, Candace is very short in comparison to that woman.
I will continue to monitor the situation here outside the trainer's room, but right now I will send things back to ringside. Corey, wait.
But as we do look forward to Bash in Berlin, I had told you that we look forward to it, just not to any titles changing hands, but with the recent change of events,
We could see a
we
change.
may see LA Knight dropping that.
Well, card's subject to change.
I like LA Knight, so I would hate to see that happen, but if Jacob Fatu comes out, yeah, like you said, it's pretty much game over.
It's like my dude's cooked. What is this? They're trying really hard to make Mia Yim a thing. I don't dislike her. I just wish they wouldn't go to the punk gimmick for all the girls. But it is not as bad. Okay, let's talk about this because you and I saw this happen on NXT. They had 4 clones come out of the same girl. The only thing different was the color of their trunks. I am telling you, it looks like if you played WWF No Mercy and you picked 4 of the same people, and the only thing that changed was the color of the gear. The moveset. It's like a factory.
Like silver red, silver blue, silver yellow.
Like one was a Chase variant. Like, I could not believe what I was watching. Oh, Tiffy time. And Queen Nia. Do you think Tiffany turns face at the end of this?
She certainly will be if she mollywops Nia upside the head with that briefcase and cashes in on her. Certainly turn her a face.
I do like the incorporation of
Pretty deadly.
Pretty Deadly. Yes, thank you. Like, Nia has really grown on me in the last few weeks. We have also not seen Bailey, I believe, since SummerSlam.
That is true.
It would be a shame if, the inevitable happened. She cashed in on Nia after the street fight.
Uh-oh.
Did you just hear every single one?
Chelsea deserves much more than where she's at, too.
Oh, it's a street fight next week.
Here comes the champ. I want to like Cody, I really do.
Well, I love Cody, so there's that.
Bro, I love you, but
I was rooting for him even when he left. I was just sad to see him leave, but where we're at now, I'm happy with it.
how did you react to the WrestleMania one?
I wish it would have been the year before.
Really?
Sure. But I bought into the whole Rocky story. 40 was bigger than 39. But it was kind of like when he won the Rumble. It's like he's definitely going for Roman, and he's definitely going to beat him. And the Rocky feel was all cool and stuff. But man, it was a long year. A long year after he faced Roman and didn't beat him.
My feelings on Cody aside, if you're looking at this objectively, I felt Roman winning was the right call, and here's why. Cody won the Royal Rumble coming in at number 30. It's not like he had a hard road to go to win the Royal Rumble. He had the only thing that was with Cody was people wanted to see Roman not as champ. And I think they would have cheered anybody in the opposite position. Now, that said, also, Sammy had all the momentum going into that year. Granted, they completely stopped it in a halt at the Elimination Chamber. But Cody didn't really face any adversity to get to Roman Reigns. They spent more time building up to that WrestleMania, reminding you that he is the son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. I thought the year of him going against Brock and overcoming the Beast and getting the respect and feuding with Judgment Day for a little bit, having some obstacles put in front of him. And then when he won the Royal Rumble, it wasn't at 30, which was nice. I don't know. There were reports that, like, had Punk not been hurt, Punk was supposed to win the Rumble.
Well, Punk got hurt in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So
allegedly, there was an audible called.
Oh, you're saying Punk was supposed to win and not Cody. I don't know that I...
Now, I don't have the law of God, but...
I mean, I wouldn't have been opposed to it. I would love to see CM Punk win a Rumble, personally. Almost probably up there more than him getting a title win at Mania, which I think he deserves. But the Rumble is so prestige, and the fact, I mean, so it's Mania, but it's that one time a year that we get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love to see a new winner. Definitely love to see one of my favorites winning it. So
I think you and I had talked about this off camera. We'll talk about it again on camera. I think it's important this year that the winner of the Royal Rumble goes after the heavyweight title. Because, again, you can't keep having the winner of the Royal Rumble go after the WWE title and neglect the other championship, because it's not going to feel as important. It's not going to feel like a prize to be won or gone after if it's constantly being viewed as an afterthought. I think Punk winning or Damian Priest. If the Royal Rumble was this Sunday, Damian Priest is winning the Royal Rumble. I still think Damian Priest will end up winning the Rumble. Unless some giant shift in booking takes place, Priest is winning. Because I don't know. I think that's how they view Punk. Like, Punk doesn't need the Royal Rumble to get a title shot. Like, he's CM Punk. But damn, how cool would that reaction be for Punk to get that moment?
yeah. Deservingly so. Even though he probably could have got Eddie not left, but that's beside the point. I think he probably would have already had one under his belt. But as you were saying, I think back to, we'll just say 10 years, the last 10 years.
Okay.
And I do recall keeping track of that. I was keeping track of that for sure. Where it was like, a Raw guy or a SmackDown guy, based on where the title was, would win. And then there was a particular year where it was like 3 years in a row where a Raw guy won, And I was like, okay, so we know SmackDown is probably going to win the Rumble the following year. But I also think that third year was maybe when somebody jumped from Raw over to SmackDown or vice versa. There's definitely that element of it too, that, and I had told you the same, that I think we could see a SmackDown guy win it, but then they're going to jump and go for the Raw title.
That'd be interesting. Who would make that jump though?
Well, we've got Punk on Raw and we've got Priest on Raw. So the
You
only other person that I could honestly think of, would be AJ Styles.
you could also, for argument's sake, if Randy were to win the Rumble, he could go after the Raw title simply because he has not yet held that title. But that's really a very loose base to go off of because Randy, Randy should get, if it isn't going to be Cena, can we hotshot Randy into this conversation? Like, the dude's outside the club trying to get in.
I'm sure I'll get some hate for this, but very, very opinionated on this. If someone is going to break Flair's record, I would much rather it be Randy than Cena, with all due respect to John Cena.
But
Randy, yeah.
That Orton loyalty runs deep, don't it, Brett?
It sure does. It sure does. I think it would be great. Third generation, I mean, we already know.
It writes itself. The legend killer becomes the legend.
If he wins another Rumble, he's going to be tied with Stone Cold.
Oh, they can't have that.
Like, for most wins.
Shit, same thing with Cody.
Same thing with Cody. But yeah, I mean, Randy's were a little more in between. And believe it or not, when Randy won it the second time, that was probably one of the few times that I was like, I mean, I'm excited, but I was also like, okay, like, Randy, you already won one, man. Why you got to win this one? That's kind of where I was at. I was like, man, like,
Well, you got to be successful, Randy.
like, Randy, you could have got here without winning this Rumble.
We've got Dan saying Joe Hendry. You picking Joe Hendry to win the Royal Rumble, Dan?
I think we see Joe Hendry in the Rumble,
I think he's number one.
but
I think he's number one.
oh, he's got to be one or two if he's going to get his whole shtick in.
Do you think it's one of the biggest pops? Like in Joe Hendry's entrance to me is very reminiscent to that of Bobby Roode in terms of audience participation. Granted, Bobby Roode was completely wasted on the main roster.
Yeah,
He-
most certainly was.
His career flatlined on the main roster.
I think back to when Joe Hendry initially went into TNA, and he was a heel.
Oh boy, that didn't last, did it? How do you boot? Like Joe Hendry has like that infomercial face. Like you can't help but see Babyface USA when Joe Hendry smiles.
KO might say he's got a punchable face, but that's because I'm staring at the man right now.
Small detail, I think you pointed it out too. KO has gone from wearing blue now to red.
Actually, I was thinking that he was wearing his RKO shirt earlier, but I did notice the change in the attire there.
Red a little bit more aggressive, heelish, if one may say. But it's weird, like that just happened out of nowhere. KO and Cody. Joe Hendry entrance is like New Orleans entrance. I really wish I could have been there for WrestleMania in New Orleans. $15 left. I have a hard time seeing this match going 15.
Oh, with another commercial break, we'll get it. You know, we don't have any other segments to follow.
Oh, God! Damn! They're already working stiff.
But yeah, I normally would put that right to someone's chest to drop them, but good lord, that was kick that man's head off.
Oh, my apologies, Dan. No. New Age Outlaws entrance was audience participation. Yes. I can see that. I like it.
Did you read NOLA on that?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I just picked that up.
I did.
You did.
I did. It's been a long day. I've been up since like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
What time did you get up?
Man, I was 8 o'clock
Oh, fuck you.
and getting back to town at 8 o'clock.
Well, you were up at 8 or you were at work by 8?
And then I was up at 8. So work by 8:45. Left at about 11 to head to Ohio, 3 hours away. 20 minutes before we get to our destination, witness that wreck happen. And after we had to spend a little bit of time there, we finally made it back.
Did you eat there?
Sure.
What'd you eat?
Oh, I mean, we were parked next to this place called Mama Mac's that I was like, man, they must sell like a bunch of mac and cheese stuff. Sounds good. No, it was a pizza joint. So,
Mama Mac's?
Yeah, some mom and pop shop that sold pizza and sandwiches. But we didn't go there. We went to good old Taco Bell.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because we were talking about Bloomington earlier, not you. When you were there, did you ever go to Mother Bear's Pizza?
No, I didn't. And that's the crazy thing because I was told by multiple people, including Mr. Tsunami, that he was like, he's like, you've never had that? Why it went over his head because he's the one who always ordered Pizza X. Pizza X is really good, by the way.
Mother Bear's Pizza is a religious experience.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear they are really, really good. And I need to definitely try them because Pizza X is like Hot Box, but better. But it's still like Hot Box. So if you can compare the two,
It's Hot Box.
yeah, it's like a Pizza King to Arnie's for us. But
Okay.
I've heard about that.
We got to make the commute sometime. It's an excuse to go see Donnie.
Indeed. If he only still lived there. But we
Oh, fuck. Where's Donnie at?
He is in LaPorte. He is up north now.
Mother Bear's Pizza is in Bloomington, and he decides to move away from that.
Yeah.
LaPorte? What the hell is in LaPorte?
His life now. And soon to be wife.
Donnie, we got to get you back at Bloomington.
We still have a connection to Bloomington.
Mounts?
Him as well. But PT.
Hustler?
Yeah.
He's in Bloomington?
He sure is.
I thought he was in Indy.
No, he moved. I forgot he moved down there. He's just past the armory where we used to wrestle at. I gotta pass the armory to get to his place.
Well, he's doing the chef thing now.
Yeah, he'd tell us not to go there and just come get his food.
Respectfully, he's a hell of a cook. I've had his cooking before. But Mother Bear's Pizza is very hard to beat.
Oh, I believe it. After all the hype, can't believe you just brought that up.
Dude, I forgot about it earlier, but the lines. Holy shit. You got to get there before, because I think they open at like 5. They have very weird hours.
Oh, so they legitimately are packed every day.
Hell yeah.
Lord.
So is Brett a babyface wrestler?
The hell is that supposed to mean? Do I look old? Do I look older now?
Just give me yours.
I feel like I've heard from the day I started that majority of people have said you're a baby face. You have a baby face. I was listening to commentary from one of the shows from a couple years back, and somebody had even said, they're like, you can tell when Brett's getting frustrated because he looks like a baby who just got its lollipop stolen. And I was like,
I described you?
yeah. They were like, he gets this look on his face. And they were
On
like,
commentary?
Just a baby face look. Yeah. Exactly like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Was it Joe?
No, it wasn't. Actually, you know what? It might have been. It might have been, actually. Now that you got me on that.
I have never seen Brett wrestle, I don't think. Well, I'll tell you what, Saturday, September 21st, I'm not above for another shameless plug.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm dropping the graphic. Brett is in action Saturday, September 21st. Lafayette, Indiana, homecoming. Tickets available on Eventbrite and by going to Heated Shenanigans Podcast or House of Pete Pro Wrestling Facebook page or any social media for that matter to get your tickets.
If we can, or if I may.
Oh, go for
Go
it.
ahead and shout out to IU here.
There you go.
No, okay. But to be serious and to answer, I actually had somebody explain this to me one time that I even took a step back and was like, wow, like they really just put it into perspective for me. It was babyface or not, what they thought was different and cool to them was the fact that even as a babyface, I am not afraid to break the rules, and I am not afraid to take those cheap shots because our opponent's going to do it to us anyways. So, yeah.
Beat him to the punch?
I mean, I legitimately remember taking a low blow from somebody in a match, and later on, ref wasn't looking. They took a low blow. No one seemed to care. In fact, they thought it was just turnabout as fair play. So,
do you feel you have a better reaction as a baby or a heel?
Oof.
It's a tough question.
It is, because I know some of the biggest reactions that I've had as a babyface that have been enough to give me goosebumps and just, I mean, that deafening sound. Like, I know that that's pretty hard to compare with, but I have taken some pretty hard boos at times too. So that's a tough one.
I think it really depends on where we're at.
It does.
Like what city we're in. Dan said, because one of my favorite local wrestlers, pretty much pure heel, is Nick Cutler. I don't think I've ever seen Nick work babyface ever in my life. Only heel.
Yeah, the last time I seen him, he was working babyface. In my opinion, was that he did a better heel stick, if you will.
Breaking news.
I'm sorry.
I hate to be breaking in on SmackDown like this, guys.
I was intertwined with him early on in my career.
Oh.
Oh. Scott, you muted yourself.
All right, how about now? Can you hear me?
That's much better. Brett, Scott, it's a pleasure as always to see you. I hate to break into the stream like this, but I have finally figured out what our lethal lottery machine has been trying to tell me. First of all, whose idea was it to put this cursed damn machine with me? Because I'm pretty sure that it's cursed and it likes to troll. And it's sentient. Here's why. The sixth entrant, it spit out the word closet. And no clue who on our roster the word closet could possibly be representing. Because we already have Bret Havoc in the match, and that's the first thing that I thought to when I thought of the word closet. But then I got to thinking, what you said, Scott. It's where we keep skeletons. It's where we keep clothes. So I thought there's no way. So I went into my bedroom. I opened my closet, and literally hanging right in front of my closet door is one image. And that image is of the sixth and final entrant for House of Heat's 6 to Survive tournament to crown our very first House of Heat champion. And Bret, you know this man very well. Ladies and gentlemen, the sixth entrant for 6 to Survive is Baka Gaijin's own Death Match Jackass, Dale Patricks.
That would be the final entrant.
Well deserved, too. Well deserved.
Now we just need to see who's in what match.
So funny you should mention that. As soon as we got that last entrant, wheels started spinning, and it had all 6 names on there. By the end of this weekend, this algorithm is going to kick out the 2 random matches for us. So we will have 3 men in one match, 3 men in another. I have no clue where they're going to be going. Scott, you have no clue where they're going to be going. This is completely left up to chance as to who faces who in this. So we could see friends on either side of each other. We could see foes on either side of the ring from each other. Bret, you might be in the ring with Shane Mercer to start things off, and I'm sorry, my friend, I don't have high hopes on that one for you.
Thanks.
I'm honest. What can I say?
I did beat him in our last encounter, but I'd say some blood wasn't spilled along the way.
So just to recap, the 6 participants: Marino, Shane Mercer, Bret Havoc, David Ali, GPA, and Dale Patricks.
And with any luck, hopefully by Monday, by time should we be streaming on Monday, by the time that stream goes live, we will have both matches set for 6 to Survive, stages 1 and 2. And then the winners of those matches will meet in October 4th, to crown the very first House of Heat champion.
There's only one way to see it, and that's to be there Saturday, September 21st, Lafayette, Indiana. Tickets on sale now.
And they are going fast. Last I heard, we're at what? Just a handful of front row tickets available?
Less than 5 right now.
Less than 5. If you want to be at the best seat in the house, you need to act fast. Hit up all of our socials. Hit Scott up directly. He will have your hookup. Check us out with Eventbrite if you want to buy your tickets directly through there. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to go. I have to do some preparing myself for this show. I will see you all September 21st, Lafayette, Indiana, for our homecoming.
And well, guys, that's going to do it for this live stream of Friday Night SmackDown. We want to thank you for joining us. And on behalf of good brother Bret and myself, I want to thank you guys for joining us and being a part of this stream. It's good to be back. It's good to be streaming with you guys. We've missed you. We love you. And from all of us here at Heated Shenanigans Podcast, we will see you guys on the next episode. Everybody out there, take care. We'll see you on the next.